Hey guys, it's Joe. It's Monday the 18th of April and it's been an absolutely glorious bank holiday weekend here in London, England. Nice hot weather, clear blue skies, and yeah, just really good for the garden. So I thought I'd give you guys a garden update. So I think we'll start with the negative, unfortunately, which is you're looking at my Domenico Toro fig tree. Now by now it should have loads of leaves on here and lots of figlets, so lots of Brabra crop. But unfortunately, I think it was a couple of weeks ago we had some late frost and it took out all my early figs, hundreds of figs that were on this tree, and all the leaves, as you can see, it's just crispy now. So we're gonna have to wait for the main crop to arrive, and it'll probably be another couple of weeks before it starts to leaf out, unfortunately. But the positive thing is it's still early in the season. So that's my Domenico Toro. It's got a few grafted varieties on here. Spanish Black, which is this one here. You can see that's the rootstock, and this is the scion, Spanish Black. And we've got some other varieties, the Smith, Cadota and Dalmati, all grafted onto this tree here. Anyway, we'll move on to the positives, guys, and that's my guava, my tropical guava. Now these were indoors over the winter, and as you can see, this one here, this is the white tropical white guava, or Arabian guava. It's doing really well, nice and healthy green growth here. And as you can see, we'll look at the trunk there, see the lovely smooth bark of the guava. So that's the tropical white, and I feed these trees with a liquid seaweed fertilizer. So yeah, feeding them with a liquid seaweed fertilizer keeps them nice and green and healthy, as you can see. And then we've got the pink tropical here, growing from seed again, not as mature as the white tropical, but still looking really good. And then we've got another pink guava, another couple of pink guavas here. This one's not doing as well, but now it's outside, it should green up and flourish. And then over here we've got my I've got some beet roots. I've only got one yellow beetroot that's popped up so far, but yeah, this half here will be yellow beetroot, and then over this half here is red onions. I can actually see a shoot appearing there, so that's pretty cool. And then here's the red beetroot. Most of them have all been germinated, have all popped up, and they'll all be going into my raised bed once I prepare it with some soil. And then over here, all these pots here are sweet corn. I think I can see, if you look here, tiny little shoot coming up there, so that's pretty cool. And over here also. And then we've got what is this? This is red currants. So we've got a few red currants here, and they're in flower, so hopefully we'll get some nice red currants. Strawberries, which will be going in a nice hanging basket, and then some plum tomatoes, and these are called the Roma VF tomatoes. And here's a new project, new potatoes. So tell you what, it's a loud motorbike there, sorry guys. So yeah, this will be, this is a new project, new potato tower here. So hopefully we'll get some shoots coming up at some point. All right, so all these will be going into the raised bed. And then over here is one of my olive trees that was in the allotment. I had to take a few trees out of there because I'm no longer using that allotment. Just too much work for me. I'm too busy, and I thought I'd concentrate all my efforts into my home garden. So that's the olive tree, doing pretty well. I gave it a heavy prune just because I took it out of the ground and I wanted to have the roots establish itself into the pot there. And then we've got some pineapple guava over here. These were also in the allotment and they've been taken out. Nice and healthy though in the pots. There's a seedling pawpaw coming into leaf, or leafing out. And then over here, look down, is these are pomegranates. So little pomegranate seedlings that I grew from seed. Most of them are doing well. Some of them were hit really hard by the frost, as you can see, but they will come back. And then over here is my white Chatoot mulberry, or white Pakistan mulberry. As you can see, really nice and healthy tree here, doing really well. Now it did have a few fruit, but it seemed to have dropped off. I just think the tree's still young, so that's all right, no problem. As long as it grows nice and healthy, I'm sure at some point it will produce for me. And then we have, this is a grapefruit, Rio Red. Looking a little bit tacky at the moment, but that's just the winter weather damaging the leaves, and I think that's probably from some type of worm chewing up the leaves there. But yeah, we've got some new growth here. I think it's going to need some fertilizing because it's a little bit yellow. And then we have the black Chatoot, or black Pakistan mulberry. So we've got some new shoots here, which is good, so it's still alive. But unfortunately, all these shoots were hit by the frost. So let's just set this tree back a bit. But it's all right, still alive. And over here is my citrus orchard. So a little citrus orchard, I call it. And this is a Clementine tree here, really healthy. And we've actually got some new growth as we look down here. Lots of new growth. Hopefully this will flower and fruit for me this spring, summer. And there's even a flower bud there, guys, if you can see, starting to appear. Over here is my Yuzu. This has been newly planted in the ground. I mean, and these thorns here, I mean, guys, you don't want to be getting poked by that, that's for sure. And then we have the Satsuma here, which is also doing really well, nice and green. I mean, these trees have taken -3 degrees and no problem whatsoever. And then we have another Pawpaw variety here in a pot. I'm debating whether I should put that in the ground. I actually took that out from the back of the garden. I had that in the ground at the back and it just had too much shade, so I took it out, and it actually survived being taken out of the ground, and it's starting to leaf out, so that's pretty cool. We have a mammoth pineapple guava down here, doing really well in the pot. And then we've got a whole load of fig varieties in here in the raised bed area. I mean, I haven't put the soil in yet, but I'm going to take all these pots out so that I can put the soil in there. And these fig varieties, I think we've got Cadota, Domenico Toro, Basilica White, and Smith, and some other varieties. Over here is my Australian finger lime, doing really well, taking the cold weather like a trooper, and hopefully it will flower for me. I think I can see some little flower buds there. Please comment below in the comment section and let me know if you think they're flower buds. But there you go. And then we'll look at my banana. This is the Moosa Helens hybrid banana, and as you can see, this is the mama here, and it's starting to send that new growth there, man. Look at that, guys. I'm so chuffed that that's got through the winter. And these are the pups, doing really well. So that's the Moosa Helens hybrid banana there. Let me go and show you these are my chili plants here. Now these have all been up potted last couple of days. These are ultra hot peppers. We've got the peach book jolokia, yellow book jolokia, Carolina Reaper, which is I think the world's hottest chili. We've got 7-pot Primo and a few other varieties. So they look nice and healthy, and they have no issues being outside, which is great. And actually being on top of these slates, they stay quite warm from the heat that emanates from the stones. And then here is an in-ground pomegranate. This has been in the ground for at least, and I grew this from seed for at least, I would say 5 years. And look, we've got some new growth here, guys. Hopefully this will flower for me this year. I'm hoping. We'll see. And then we've got another pomegranate I also grew from seed. Now that hasn't, well, it did actually leaf out. Sorry guys. But the frost basically killed all the new growth. But if you look to the bottom there, guys, you can see some new growth, which is cool. Here is a persimmon tree, Japanese persimmon, and all new growth again, killed by the frost, unfortunately. But I can see some new shoots here, so all positive, all good. All right, so it's my pineapple guava here. This is the large unknown, nice and healthy. I'm so impressed by this tree. It's doing so well. I planted this in the ground several years back, and I mean, it's really just taken off. Nice and healthy, nice and bushy, and every year so far it's produced some delicious fruit. Ever since I planted this one, this Triumph beside it, it's helped with cross-pollination and produces lovely fruit for me. Okay, so we're going to walk over to my Pawpaw. This is the Prima variety. Apparently it's self-fertile, and I think you saw in my last video that it was starting to flower, but man, these are starting to get a lot larger here, guys. So, and there's a lot of them around all over the tree, lots of flowers. So I'm really hoping that this will fruit for me. We'll soon find out. That's the Prima Pawpaw, doing really well in ground. And here is my large olive tree, doing amazingly well in the garden. I mean, I think I really need to give this a heavy prune just to allow more light into the garden. But it's such a beautiful tree, guys. You can see how thick the trunk is there. So that's my olive tree. And then we'll turn round, and over here in that raised bed is lemon guava. So this was my largest lemon guava, which produces absolutely delicious fruit. You can see the bark there, the trunk. Now a lot of the leaves had fallen off when it was indoors because of spider mites, but I'm sure this will bounce back in the coming weeks as the temperatures warm up. There's Cooper. What are you doing, boy? And what he's eating. And then here we've got another new tree. This is where the plum tree, the Mirabelle plum tree was, which I had to take out of the ground because plums are toxic to dogs, apparently. But yeah, we've got a persimmon tree here. This is the Nikita's gift. Again, frost killed all the new growth, but we've got some more. We've got some new shoots coming up, guys. I don't know if you can see there. So that's pretty cool. And the tree's still small, so it's not going to produce any fruit for me. I don't think so anyway, this year. So it's all good. And some Camellia, little Camellia tree there. Lemon tree, a little bit looking worse for wear, but that's just from the cold winter. And that'll soon get some new growth. There's the Chinese jujube, still bare. They're the longest to leaf out. They take a while. Probably May, or maybe even the next week, we'll see. And then we've got my Rojo Brillante persimmon tree, which you're looking at here. And thankfully, this was not affected at all by the frost. And you can see all this nice new growth here, guys, all over the tree. So I'm hoping this year it will give me lots of fruit, because last year, I think I only got a couple. So hopefully this year I'll get a lot more. But unfortunately, it's a different story with my Chocolatino persimmon tree. All the new growth again was hit by the frost. Whoops, tripped over there. By the frost, unfortunately. So it's put it back a couple of weeks, at least 3 weeks, I would say, unfortunately. But we've got some growth there, so the tree's fine. It's just going to take a while to come back. And then we have the beautiful locust tree there. Again, doing really well, beautiful shape, and hopefully it will fruit for me next year. So it didn't produce any flowers through the winter, It has flowered for me once before, but only once. So hopefully as it matures, it will produce flowers through the winter. So that's the loquat. This is the Roseanne variety, a grafted variety. And then we'll go to my avocado, which is in the corner behind. So this, guys, is my seed-grown avocado. It's been in the ground for 4 years. You can see all the crispy leaves here. That's from the winter, but it will have a lot of new growth, which I can see already. Got some new shoots there. So in the coming weeks, this will look nice and lush and green again. And I'll give you guys an update. And to the back there, you can see my Spanish black fig tree starting to leaf out. So that's pretty cool. Quite a large tree there. So there you go, guys. That's a little update of what's growing on in my garden. And hopefully it will be a productive growing year. Guys, if you've liked this video, please share it. Give me a thumbs up, and happy gardening.